16 years ago, I decided to open a shop dealing with having brass, only brass, and quality brass at many different price points. And we were in Boston for 15 years before we moved, or 12 years before we moved to Kansas City. Yeah, we're kind of like a boutique-y pro shop, I would say, although we carry many different brands and many different price points. We found out about Packer, I think, at the SNAM show back in, no, I don't remember the exact year. It was probably, I would say it was probably 2016, 2015. We've had great success with the brand for all these years, slowly building up. Initially we only did the trumpets, the flugelhorn and the trumpets and the cornets, and now I think we're doing all the brass, including the tubas. We have some of the tubas at the shop, and yeah, it's been really great. I think it's by far probably the best value instruments. So we often have customers come in who they can't spend the boutique money on the premier instruments. These instruments, and the market, it keeps going up, and we're constantly fighting that as retailers. We try to treat them as well as we can, and sometimes they come in, they have a very limited budget, so they might not be able to afford the $10,000 euphonium or the $5,000 piccolo trumpet. So we say, well, we have these different brands. There's two things that I think that JP does really well. One, the customer service is exemplary. We ever have an issue, all companies have issues with instruments. Anyone around this booth says otherwise, they're fibbing to you. But it's what happens with the follow-up that makes a company great or not. And like why you guys are best in show this year is that's part of it, is the care that you provide to our dealers like myself. It's always perfectly honest, perfectly straight, and almost immediate. I don't know how. For instance, I email Rob quite often. I'm like, does the guy ever sleep? Because he's always up. I'm like, I'll just send him a random question. He'll be like, boom, I got you. So that's one. But two, obviously if the instruments weren't high quality, then it wouldn't matter, right? The instruments are quite high quality. The fit and finish is great. Being a brass player, the valves work really great. The slides are great. The rotors are good. There's very little QC stuff that we have to do in our shop once we get them. Because people know me as a trumpet player, so they think we only sell trumpets. And so one thing we've been working on very hard the past few years is really pushing our low brass, pushing the euphoniums, pushing the tubas, going to the bigger shows, like we're going ITF, we go to ITEC and things like that, and telling people, yes, ACB's full service brass. We even have a John Packer French horn in stock, I know that for sure. And that was the first step. So one thing that's going to happen, especially with the acquisition of Rath, which is pretty badass, is getting the Rath trombones in the Midwest especially. So we ship throughout the world, but we're trying to have an opportunity where we can have someone in our area have a pro shop where they can get that.